Okay, YouTube subscribers, this is another video of my Su-16A that I've had for a few months now, and I've had a few comments on my other videos talking about reliability issues with certain ammo, so I wanted to make a video discussing what ammo seems to work for me and what ammo seems to malfunction in stovepipe. And really I wanted to go over those malfunctions and show you how to clear them very easily, and I'll be doing that in a video coming up shortly. But first, let's go over the three types of ammo that I used in this video. And I was firing all these out of a factory magazine, so that was never an issue. So here are the three types of ammunition I used in this test. The first was the American Eagle SS-109 or M855 green tip 62 grain, and that is loaded to 5.56 pressures and not 223 pressures, and I'll explain why that's significant and why I think that's important with this rifle especially. But first, here's a video of 10 rounds going through this rifle with that ammunition. You assholes. Alright, Su-16A with 62 grain green tip, 10 shots. Work flawlessly. Okay, so that was some good American-made brass ammunition, and it was loaded to 5.56 pressures, and it seemed to work pretty well. Next up, I'll show you guys 10 rounds of the Tula ammunition, which had a few issues to begin with when it comes to FTEs during the break-in period. It also had one malfunction that stopped the whole day of shooting because I didn't have a punch rod, and people that are familiar with Tula can tell you that when your weapon heats up, and this happens in AR-15s and pretty much any rifle you want to shoot this through, when you heat it up it sometimes expands and gets stuck in the chamber. Then you have to get a punch rod and punch it out. So I don't put that on the rifle, and the FTEs it was having, they're about 1 in 100, I'd say, maybe less, with the Tula ammunition. So here's 10 rounds of that fire. Alright, this is my Su-16A shooting with Tula ammo, 10 rounds, just to show that it's reliable with this ammo with the factory magazines. Okay, and last but not least, the ammo I thought I was going to be able to use for defense, and turns out it would have probably been one of the worst ones I could have for my particular rifle. And I've had reports coming in of stuff that was loaded to 223 pressures not functioning well through this rifle, and you'll see the FTE I get with this ammunition. Alright, this is American Eagle, and there's the lot number on the back, and these things do not shoot well through the Su-16. So as a heads up, I'll see if I can get a malfunction recorded for y'all. Alright, and we just saw Wolf, or no, it was Tula, and SS-109 function through it. And as we can see, there's a failure to eject, which is easy to clear if you just throw the round out and recock the hammer. It'll reset the hammer for you and it'll still fire, but that was a malfunction from this ammo that I've been getting a lot. So that was 1 out of 10 malfunctioned on me. Not too bad, but with this Su-16 it seems not like this 50 grain American Eagle vermin tip. Okay, so as you saw with that video, this rifle particularly does not like the 50 grain vermin tip 223. And it seems that it doesn't like 55 grain Federal 223 either. And I think that is just because the American Eagle and the Federal 223 Remington is not powerful enough to function the action reliably every single time. Because if you've noticed, the Tula is also loaded to 223 specs, and it works almost every time. So if you're using this weapon for defensive purposes, I'd say definitely stick to mil-spec 5.56 ammo, and it seems to run just fine. But for practice, the Tula's good, and if you want to practice clearing malfunctions with this rifle, actually the 50 grain American Eagle stuff is kind of good for that. And what you just witnessed was an FTE that I'm going to simulate right now, and I'm going to make sure that the weapon is safe and unloaded, both visually and manually inspecting it. So it is unloaded, and with an unloaded magazine and 2 spent cartridges, I'm going to simulate that malfunction. Okay, so what ends up happening is bolt doesn't reciprocate all the way, and the round doesn't eject, so it gets stuck right around here. And with the magazine in, it strips off another round into the chamber. And now we just checked this was safe, but I'll put it against a safe target anyway. Alright. And now the hammer is going to be down because the bolt's not all the way seated, and that's the malfunction. You hear it click. The rounds popped out the side, stovepiped. The hammer's down. There's a live round inside of it, but you have this hanging out, so when the hammer hits, it doesn't actually set off the cartridge. So what you do in this case is you take the charging handle, move it back just a little bit, push that out, reset the hammer. You'll see back there the hammer is resetting. But you don't want to eject the round completely. So you want to bring it back about that far, and this can be done all in just one quick 3-second motion. You sweep it out, pull it back enough that it doesn't eject the round, let it go again, and now it'll fire again. So when you're having FTE problems with this rifle, that is the quickest way to clear it and get it back functioning, so you can defend yourself with it still. Unless, of course, there is that one issue that we have with Wolf. That's why I'd say it's a good practice ammo, with it getting the catastrophic kind of malfunction of having the steel case expand in the chamber and then having to knock it out with a punch rod. And I shouldn't say catastrophic because that doesn't actually permanently damage your rifle, but it will put you out of the fight for a few seconds until you can find a punch rod, which is in my kit, and everybody should have one in their kit if they're planning on firing a lot of Tula especially. Okay, so that's my reliability review of this rifle. It can be a little finicky with certain types of ammo, but I load it with 5.56 now for defensive purposes, and I've tested it with 5.56, and it seems to do well when the cartridge is loaded to that pressure. When it's loaded with 223, it's kind of hit or miss. So that's my in-depth range report reliability review. That's a lot of R's. 5 R's. Have a good day, YouTube.